For you guys, we've got additional thunderstorms continuing to pop up for us across northwest Arkansas and the River Valley. There's another boundary, just one more piece of energy trying to push through. And as it does so, it's sparking some scattered showers and some thunderstorms too. We've got multiple severe thunderstorm warnings. Most of them are for hailstones that are about a quarter size. They're not quite as large as they have been earlier today. The storm in Poto has now dropped its severe status, but is mainly over the hill and coming into Worcester. But we have two storms right now in Crawford County and Washington County. Severe thunderstorm warning right over Greenland and Prairie Grove and West Fork. You guys in Greenland are already getting some of that rain over the high school and towards Tobos, back towards the west. Prairie Grove, we've got some of that rain too. This is moving south and east. These are all now moving 25 to 30 miles per hour or so as they move south and east. And then we got another storm there in northern Crawford County. Bruce, I'm going to let you take over on this. I'm going to get the rest of our live streams set up. But if you want to take a look at this storm, we'll track this one coming into Cedarville and Uniontown.
And okay, I've got my mic on.
There we go.
I had to unmute that microphone. And,
oh, good.
Yeah, that storm now showing up to our north, moving southeast at 30 miles an hour. And the National Weather Service has now issued a warning that does include Fort Smith, all the way to Alma and Van Buren, and even Dean Springs. Again, this storm pretty far off, though, but moving more quickly. It's going to go through Cedarville also. So the latest warning as of 7:12, so just 8 minutes ago, National Weather Service said this storm is 6 miles northwest of Natural Dam. So it's over Natural Dam currently, moving southeastward at 30 miles an hour, 60-mile-an-hour winds with quarter-size hail. The forecast on this storm as it moves along its track, hail damage to vehicles possible. And again, storm located in this path will eventually come into Fort Smith and Van Buren, Cedarville, Natural Dam right now, Alma and Pecola. And so it's just coming down the line, actually. And eventually Fort Smith Regional Airport may actually see some of this. But again, from Barcelona to Cedarville to Rudy to Dean Springs is the quickest path right now. And we are watching it again. It's got a hail core in it. And there it is right there. And heaviest hail has already occurred. Now this is the hail track. So it may be weakening a little bit according to this latest hail signature. It looks like it may be falling apart as it comes out of Oklahoma into Arkansas this afternoon and moving now, just right now, well, still not quite to sunset. We've got a little more time on the sun going down after 8 this evening. But again, this storm possibly impacting Interstate 40 eventually around mile markers 0 to 17 and also Interstate 49 between mile markers 22 and 28. So here's a look at that storm. Look at the hard wall on the side of this. Look at that. That storm's got some punch to it, and we're watching again. These cameras always, this is from Pecola, and you know, you can see underneath it here, we got a little shelf cloud, we got a little lowering cloud from the rain, and it's impressive. It's scary looking for sure, but right now it's not showing big signs of rotation, but it does have hail in it. And again, it's moving south and southeast at about 30 miles an hour, and that's probably one of the bigger shows we got going on right now. And it's right easing along the state line, just heading south and heading eventually to Cedarville, Van Buren, and possibly going right into Fort Smith and Van Buren, eventually sliding maybe just a little east of there. But again, that track right now is about 30 miles an hour towards the southeast. Let's show a broader view because there's still more storms to our north and also to the west. This little storm now tracking right over Interstate 49, and it's moving again, and it's weakening. You can see it's weakening there. West Fork, Greenland, it's south of Farmington and south of Fayetteville now. A little shower going across Fayetteville is now moving off to the east. And here's a little shower came right over the TV station here. We're at Johnson's Mill. And that shower just passed over us right around when the sports guy was heading out to get dinner. He ran out into that, so that happens. Siloam Springs, well, you got another storm there from Watts on down Highway 59. And yeah, it's still going out there too tonight. Another round of storms coming in from Oklahoma. And picture shows pretty active weather around Tahlequah. A lot of lightning going on.
Looks like they dropped that warning, the one for Fayetteville. You're just talking about that weakening storm.
Yeah, well, it's weakened quite a bit. So that's good for Washington County out of that warning. So if you go a little further south now, we are seeing Crawford County heading towards Sebastian County. Those are the ones that are seeing the active weather. And Again, that's because of this hail core, but it looks like it's weakening somewhat too. That's only a ½ inch, maybe just close to anything from an inch above is considered severe, and winds over 50 knots or 58 miles an hour. But the good news is it looks like it's weakening some. At least the hail is showing up, and as it gets down towards Uniontown and Cedarville. Well, you've had weather out there this afternoon. We've seen Natural Bridge and Cedarville all have some big hail move through there earlier this afternoon, and then the storm ended up right over Alma. And we got some wind flow. You can see the little circulation in the wind here. It's not tight, but you can see there's some wind here in the storm and the circulation as it's moving south. But we're not real concerned about a tornado or anything like that.
There's
right
not
now.
much lightning on it as much as it was either. You see that?
No, and that's a good sign that it's weakening, I think. It's losing some of its punch, and that's all good. That's real good. That storm is showing signs of weakening. These are still holding together northwest of Tahlequah.
I think we got a new warning now coming in for Adair and southern Delaware County right there.
Right there, yeah. Siloam Spring storm swinging around, and you can see it flashing now. And
let me take the tracks off.
Let's see what happens here with that.
I'll loop this over the past 15 minutes. So it's got some hail.
Yeah.
But it looks like the larger hail's back towards the west, towards Lake Tenkiller and Tahlequah.
Yeah, so that's the big storm. Again, moving a little bit to the southeast again. And, you know, these storms are still pulsing up, producing hail, last maybe 30 minutes to an hour, and then collapsing. And luckily, we've had no tornadoes reported throughout our region today. We've been lucky there, but we've had a lot of hail reports and some high winds, but nothing too dangerous on the winds. But mostly the hail has been why those warnings have been coming out all day. You can see southwest of McAllister, we saw these storms still going, powerful storms heading towards Interstate 35 and moving parallel. But look at that.
Isn't that crazy?
That is beautiful.
Look at the storm structure.
Yeah, look at that.
And then underneath you have that cloud completely detached.
Yeah.
That looks scary.
Yeah, the whole thing is get your attention. You know, it's over in Oklahoma. And which way are we looking with this?
So you're looking directly north from Macola. You're looking right up the state line, right towards that storm that could potentially try to clip us, maybe in Fort Smith, maybe a little bit more towards Van Buren. But like Bruce has been saying, over time it looks a little bit weaker. Yeah. The storm just north of it, I mean, that weakened enough, so it's honestly just a good little shower now. But this is the storm that's still severe here in Arkansas, going right up the state line. So that camera. Let me see. That camera, I'm going to draw this. I know it's not a low pressure, but imagine the low pressure is where that camera is, and you're looking directly north into this. Yeah. And so this is what it looks like from that view. So that's what we're showing you live from the Choctaw Casino. But this one has been slowly weakening as well. You still got some crisp towers there on its western side, but we'll have to see. It's moving into already cloudy air. Yeah. Some cooler air. Bruce, I was going to show you that temperature map as well, because we can take a look at that convergence that we were looking at earlier today in those wind flows. Well,
look
messy.
at Salisaw, a little meso high there.
Yeah, you see that? How it's expanding.
Can you drop a little symbol on that, or can you do that?
Let's see.
So people know what we're talking about. Behind a strong low pressure, there's sometimes a meso or small scale high pressure area, and the air flows out of that. And you can see that just west of Salisaw right now in the 68-degree air there. Yeah, there it is.
That's what he's talking about. Isn't that crazy? Yeah. So around that, we've got this ring of, I mean, we got storms kind of all the way around this meso high where you've got this convergence zone. We got one towards the north, that line of storms towards the north. And then kind of on the eastern side, you've got some convergence, but it's not as impressive as the lines coming in, those streamlines coming into Oklahoma. That may be one reason why the storms in Oklahoma so far look like they're faring just a little bit better. But here's a wide view. Bruce, we're just waiting for the final cold front to just blow on through. Yeah,
I'll be ready for that. Good looking day tomorrow. We're going to be in the upper 70s in northwest Arkansas tomorrow, and then down along the river valley, the low 80s with north winds tomorrow. Much drier conditions, mostly sunny skies, and zero chance of rain, pretty much. I hate to say that in May, but very little chance of rain tomorrow in our forecast. We are saying a lot of storms still going on tonight, but they're weakening in our area. Fort Smith, you're still under a severe thunderstorm warning along with Van Buren and Alma. If you watch that trajectory, I think Alma's going to get hit again, and it might stay just a little bit to the east of Fort Smith, but you just have to watch how that comes on down. That's a pretty significant thunderstorm there, and it's progressing at 30 miles an hour towards Rudy. Here's Van Buren and Barling, and again Alma just off to the east, and that's a very active storm pattern. We saw that storm at Alma earlier today that went right across 49 and 40, and then we had all kinds of traffic slowdowns because of the wind and the hail there, but luckily it weakened right after it moved past Alma. And if you're there, you probably got some, maybe a quarter to $half size hail earlier today. Might have covered the ground even. We don't have any reports yet from there, but maybe coming in on social media. Look at Hobbstown. Boy, that storm's coming right at you. I think that's the projection now is heading that way, the trajectory, and not as much towards Fort Smith, but we still got these storms by Tahlequah eventually coming down. I don't know how you're finally not going to get some rain. It hasn't rained in Fort Smith today that I know of.
We've been lucky. We've been lucky so far.
But they did have hail the other morning.
That's right. We did. We got hit hard that other morning.
Yeah, so.
That cell's weakened.
Yeah, Poto's weakened down at Heavener. That one's weakened pretty well. And again, that's the big show for us right now, that storm moving through Crawford County and moving southeastward at 30 miles an hour. A storm that was south of Fayetteville. Now look at it, it's falling apart completely. This is all weakening. But they had a lot of rain and hail to the east today, and that storm pushed all the way through Little Rock. It's all the way into Mississippi. Let's pull it back on a larger scale and show the even further. Let's take it statewide. Let's just show a statewide trajectory. And yeah, see how those storms now moving all the way into Tennessee, all the way through northern Mississippi, and then back all the way almost to Louisiana now, where they've got severe thunderstorm warnings for that line of storms going north of Jackson, Mississippi, all the way towards Monroe, Louisiana. That's the storms that were right here this afternoon. So they've been progressing southeastward all afternoon, creating flash flooding, lightning, hail, and now they've progressed all the way into, look at that.
Just for fun, this is a 12-hour loop. This is from 7:30 this morning as we were waking up. 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, we were okay. But then, Bruce, right there around lunchtime is when we started to see these storms get closer. They started, of course, in northwest Arkansas. We had that storm in Clarksville, though, in Johnson County, producing that flash flooding. We had, remember, flash flood warnings all over Madison County and Carroll County. And then you see that evolution just continue to march towards the south and east, and then back towards the west. We've been watching all these additional storms continue to pop up, and that's what we're watching right now. Time right now, 7:30. What we're going to do is we're going to take a quick break because we have this storm that continues to come towards Fort Smith and Van Buren. It is weakening a little bit. We're going to come back on here in just a few moments as it comes closer to Van Buren, if it's still severe warned, because right now, when you look at this hail, you can see how it dumped a lot of hail there right along the state line. Evansville, Summers, Arkansas, Barron, Peavine, Fairfield, but then it continues to weaken a little bit as it moves towards the south. I'm going to loop this over the past, let's do 30 minutes, and you can see that hail core as it's been moving. But over time, I mean, the recent upscan, you got maybe a quick uptick, but overall this hail core has been getting a little bit smaller, but it is coming towards us in Cedarville. It's coming right over Barcelona and Natural Dam, there right over Independence Road and there towards Rainwater Road, that's appropriate. Rodeo Road and Rodeo Road, Joyful Howe, there Pine Tower and Birchfield Mountain Trail. This will eventually come over the Lee Creek Reservoir and move south towards Van Buren, and like Bruce is mentioning, maybe skimming Fort Smith. These things keep wobbling a little bit. But we're going to take a quick break. As this storm approaches Fort Smith, we're going to hop back on. If it stays severe warned, but it has shown some signs of weakening. The stronger storms continue to be in Oklahoma, but even some of those are starting to weaken as well. We'll still have these little hail pockets, maybe up to pea-sized hail at times with some of these larger showers. But for now, we're going to watch these storms pressing in. This hopefully is the last kind of round of storms for this evening. And like Bruce is mentioning, we've got a stellar forecast coming up for tomorrow. We'll be back, but we're live. Keep it local, keep it here, and as always, we'll keep you advised.